let them do a certain thing. Could you tell us a little bit about your business adventures? As I understand, that you own a construction company, a gas station.
Well, if you get the time, I'll give you a brief rundown very quickly. Upon graduation, I signed with Vickers instead of turning pro. Vickers is a petroleum company that had service stations. And so I immediately asked them I'd like to work in the office with the rest of the players that were working in the office. And I was immediately told that the only African Americans that worked in the office were the people who cleaned up. But Cleo, we will set you up in the service station business down in your area. So I went into the service station business and ended up having 5 at one time. And ended up with the 2 on 13th and Grove and 13th and Hydraulic, which were the biggest and the best the Vickers had in Kansas. And I was very satisfied with it and thought I was going to remain there. Then that fizzled because Vickers sold out. They closed those stations up, and I was looking for a job.
Gotcha.
I could go on and on. But just
right.
Brief, I became a salesman for a company called Primrose Oil Company. I started out as a territorial salesman covering 4 counties around Wichita. I progressed from that up into assistant state manager and then state manager over all the salesmen in the state of Kansas. And then I progressed up from that to be an assistant regional manager over 5 states and also in California.
Okay.
And very profitable and very good, but it kept you on the road 24 days out of the month.
Yeah.
And after 2 years, I just gave it up and told him I was quitting.
Yeah, little fatigue factor pulled in. That's very remarkable that you was able to do these things under those conditions at that time.
Unfortunately, Larry, I was the only African-American salesman that did Primrose. I've been the first in so many things I don't know what to think about. But yeah, I survived and moved up to Larry, and they gave me a car and a salary and put me on the road. But I gave that up because I was gone 24 days out of the month, and I couldn't stay with my wife that long.
That's understandable. That's certainly a real good success story. You hung on in there throughout the years and prevailed and did what you had to do. What are your views on the game today, on the game of basketball today, since you are a legend in your own time and era, playing throughout the decades? Each decade, the style of play changes, certain skill levels develop and all that. What's your views on the game today?
Well, I think the game really, as you said, changes and has changed. But the essentials are the same. You have to score baskets and you have to stop the other team from scoring baskets. So those are the essentials. But skills have changed with individual players. And back in my day, there were a lot of people skilled. One of the reasons I think I was successful because I was more athletic than some of those guys were. I grew up running and jumping where most of those guys just picked it up. And so that gave me an advantage over some of them. Right,
definitely. I see. So was you much more of a post player, or did you play on the perimeter, or just kind of freelance to get the 2,164 points, which still stands today in 2016?
Well, Coach Ralph Miller, in high school started me out as a center. And in college, I was with Ralph for 7 years, 3 years in high school and then 4 years in college.
Okay.
He told me to come to WSU and he'd let me play if I obeyed him. He was a good coach, very hard though. And so I developed as a forward and a center in college. Not a big guy to be in the middle with college people, so he moved me out as a forward, number 4. And sometimes I play a 3, but and I had the right to shoot anytime I wanted to. but I'd better make more than I missed, otherwise you suffer the wrath of Ralph Miller, and that's not good.
I understand that. So, how in the world in 2016, 60 years later, how does this record still stand with the three-point line added?
Well, the three-point line makes a difference, but people forget that as a freshman, I was a starter, and I scored almost as many points as a freshman as I did as a sophomore and a junior.
It's killing. I was out there killing them.
That's the difference. I had 4 years as a starter, and where most of these guys only get 3 years as a starter. Freshmen were eligible to play then, as it is now. Then in between, they stopped it, and now it's back again.
I see. That's a very good explanation.
And I was a gun. He said, shoot it, and I shot it.
Hey, I don't blame you. I see. You can't be shy.
No.
And score over 2,100 points. And the leading scorer and rebounder in the country, in Xavier McDaniel, a.k.a. X-Man, came 12 points shy.
He told me he was trying to get it, but he just couldn't make it. He said if he had one more game, he said, I'd have got you, Cleo.
I see.
I wish you had, then I'd have moved down a bit.
I see. In your eyes, what do you see that could make Wichita State a better basketball program as far as player personnel?
I think Marshall's doing an excellent job out there. His big problem is, as with most coaches, you've got to recruit talent. And with everybody being thieves or stealing all the Kansas players, I think he's second in line behind KU is getting the best players. So all he's got to do is keep getting the good players in Kansas and get some of the good ones on the outside and keep coaching the heck out of it like he's doing now. He'll stay safe. Even though we didn't win as many games as we wanted to, he was still a very successful coach.
Yeah. Those of us who grew up playing basketball here in the 90s, it's like we are a group of guys who missed out on a talented coach like that, a player type coach. Not a coach let a player do it in where he wants to do, but a coach that let a player play.
Right.
And play within the confines of the game. And also recruit from Wichita.
Yeah.
These days the pool of talent has kind of dwindled here in the city, so it's just a few guys now. We really hope this guy would stay. Mr. Littleton, are there anything else you would like to add?
Well, not really. It's just that I've remained here in Wichita because I'm married and had four children here, and I've been received here as an employer, which I am. Which right now I have a construction company, which do minor construction, do concrete work and room additions and some demolition work. So I remain here, and at the age of 83, I still work because I love to work and I need the money.
I hear you. Yeah, you just like to make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you retire, then what are you going to do? Just sit in the chair there and
flip channels.
No, I got to keep working. I go to work every day. Go to the office and try to hustle up a little business.
Do something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's understandable. Well, sir, I would certainly like to thank you for this opportunity. Mm-hmm. For KSUN News, I'm Larry Parker, your host. Thank you for joining in.